Preppers out there. It's your two favorite Midwestern dads back at it tonight. I'm Logan Myers. That's my good mate over there.
And I am Henry Hill. What is going on indeed? We've got a Jurassic review for you tonight. It's a return to the franchise that just seemingly won't go away. It just keeps coming back, every other summer, every few summers. It's a huge phenomenon. Obviously started back in 93. Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park. It's now went into the Jurassic World phase of the franchise, and this one is a reboot, basically taking it back to basically a callback to the original movies here, and bringing in different actors that we've seen before here in this universe. We are talking about the return of Jurassic World, and this one is called
Jurassic World Rebirth.
What the hell are those? They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
That's right. This movie takes place 5 years after Dominion. Of course, if everybody out there remembers Dominion, with the legacy characters returning in that film, it was like hit or miss for most people. I actually enjoyed that one. But going back to the basics here, dinosaurs are still alive. They're located by the equator, essentially, and these people are tasked in this mission to go extract the blood and DNA for medical reasons, essentially. And that's the whole mission they go into, which introduces Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend is the bad guy here, getting the crew together. Of course, loaded, your typical kind of villain character that is. We had fun with it in this role playing Martin when they go on this mission to find these living dinosaurs on land, water, and in the air.
oh, by land, by sea, everywhere that you can have a dinosaur. That's what you see here in this film. Scarlett Johansson playing the mercenary in this, leading the team and having to keep everybody safe. Duncan Kincaid, Mahershala Ali is along for the ride. Then Jonathan Bailey is the doctor, obviously the brains behind the operation. And then, like you mentioned, Rupert Friend playing the guy behind the scenes that just wants to collect the blood samples and make a run for it, and leave everybody else in the dust. And just the typical prick villain here for Jurassic World. This one was very simple, simplistic plot, something we've seen like a cardboard cutout of this franchise before. It felt like just a copy and paste here. Gareth Edwards directing this one, which had me interested, so I wanted to see what he'd do with this. And he does bring in more horror into this one. He brings in some scary aspects of the franchise, and that is evident by the first scene in Jurassic Park. We have some scientists working in a lab, and of course something goes wrong, and one of the scientists gets trapped into a room with the dinosaur. The dinosaur, kills him. That kind of sets the stage here. So it's kind of a cool aspect in that way, bringing more of the scary aspect of Jurassic World. What if you were out there alone with the dinosaurs and that? But the unfortunate aspect that this franchise keeps holding on to, and fails to remember why the first couple were so great. The first one, mostly practical effects, practical dinosaurs, not relying all on CGI, and unfortunately reporting that Jurassic World Rebirth is a all CGI pretty much.
And that was the biggest downfall of the movie, honestly, from the get-go. That you're talking about, the scientist gets trapped, the introduction of the dinosaur creeping into the background looks heavily CGI. It just doesn't look real to me, right? And then the film, I think the dinosaurs just didn't really look all that good to me. They didn't look real at all. It's the lack of the practical, obviously very expensive, but I don't know. The CGI just didn't look like fully finished in the scenes that I saw. And there's just a freaking rip off of Jaws, and the whole water scene. The whole part was just a huge rip off of Jaws, which really bothered me because it's 50th anniversary this year. Planning on seeing it, next month. But I'm like, just felt like a copy and paste with some like more dull characters. I will say that the one scene with Ed Skrein, he's like the villain for 5 minutes, and his test scene was fantastic. Yeah, just the big downfall of this movie, in my opinion, was definitely the dinosaurs. They took me out of the movie, and that's the reason you go to see these kind of movies is the dinosaurs. Just, I don't know, didn't look good.
Yeah, I agree with you too. The whole scene with the raft being
Yeah.
chased by the Tyrannosaurus Rex, obviously, while the whole idea of that is really cool, it just yeah, it just looked computerized, looked fake, and completely implausible too. They're all in the water and barely paddling, barely moving, and they're trying to get away from a T-Rex. I think I would have ditched the raft and like tried to swim because they were moving faster that way rather than, sitting there barely moving on this, flimsy raft. It's just a silly scene in general. Scarlett Johansson, she does pretty well, in this role. Obviously, playing a mercenary, it's nothing you haven't seen before. She doesn't really stretch what she can do here with the acting wise, playing basically herself. Has a nice relationship with Mahershala Ali's character, Duncan Kincaid. They know each other, previously in this universe here. And then you have Jonathan Bailey playing Dr. Henry Loomis. Yeah, I thought he was probably the best out of the three, honestly, the most believable. And he had the best acting scenes here. And then you just have Rupert Friend playing, the same villain that you've seen before. And he does a great job at that. So I can see why they hired him for that role. So it's not like it's a bad cast or anything. It's just like nobody really there wasn't really anything to go, act in the scenes other than act afraid. Scarlett Johansson, show off what she can do physically, playing the mercenary. And of course, you want to sympathize with her and Mahershala Ali. And then you just have on the other side of the cast here that we haven't really talked about, you have this family that gets caught up with them too, and they end up getting rescued by them and going with them. So there is a little bit of a danger element. There's a family, there's a father with his daughter and her boyfriend. And I believe, isn't there another little girl? I want to say
Yeah.
maybe there's, yeah, two
Too.
daughters. So there is some of that, but like we said, we've seen it all before. There isn't much new here. The creatures themselves, like we mentioned, they try to go bigger each time. This one, there was a huge water dinosaur, but just a blatant ripoff of Jaws. Nothing spectacular there. And yeah, they just didn't really do a lot of new things with this movie. You had the big dinosaurs that could fly at the end, but yeah, they just kind of go get the blood that they need. Rupert Friend steals the vials, and you can predict exactly what happens in this movie beat by beat, pretty much.
The dinosaur that looks like a xenomorph.
Yes. Yeah.
It's laughable how silly that was. I'm like, why? They're just making all these like hybrid dinosaurs, and it didn't even look good. Me and you saw it in the theater together with our kids, and we're just laughing. Even a part that's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be serious. Like, looks bad. Yeah, it took me out of it. The acting's fine. The characters are fine. There's not a lot to them. There's not a lot you care about with these characters, but they're fine. Scarlett Joe, Mahershala, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, they're good. I think overall as a movie, just nothing really new and sometimes hollow and just the CGI. The dinosaurs did not look good in this movie. Even our kids, 10 and 8-year-old, they're like, it was okay. Kids saying that. So, it doesn't even interest them. And I could tell they were bored in the movie theater when we saw it together. But it was a fun time regardless with all of us. But yeah, just kind of a okay movie. Meh. It's a movie I'll rewatch anytime soon. Probably not. But yeah, I'm glad we got to see it together in the theater. Summer blockbuster season. You can't win them all. But it was a decent time at the movie theater. So that being said, I'm going to give Jurassic World Rebirth, which I saw with this guy over here. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Scarlett Joe hair pieces.
I agree with everything you said. Yeah, the same reactions. We looked at each other after it was over and we're like, oh, okay. We got to the movies anyway, it was decent enough, not a complete waste of time. There were some good moments sprinkled throughout. They need to work on the scripts moving forward here. Let's add a little bit more substance. The first one, first, and then Lost World, those asked and posed a lot of interesting questions, deeper than just let's scare humans with dinosaurs and all that. They asked some pretty important questions about humankind moving forward. You don't want to get, too down in the details, but, you need a little bit more substance with characters and everything. And just lacked a lot of that in this one. Too much CGI. They need to go back to the practical That's, really takes you out of it when everything's obviously done with a green screen and, people reacting to that. I think we pretty much said all that we're going to say here about Jurassic World
I think
Rebirth.
so.
It's going to be hitting the streaming services really soon. So that kind of shows you where we're at here with this franchise. This used to be a franchise that was in the cinema, the whole summer long. And now it's, in and out in about a month and already on streaming. So
Hasn't
that's where
even
we
been
are.
out a month. It came out July 4th for the end of the Yeah,
Jeez,
3
that's
weeks.
crazy. Yeah, wow. Oh, the life cycles of movies just aren't what they once were. Yeah. I think I too am going to give Jurassic World Rebirth a 3 out of 5. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 Mahershala Ali. Hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you dinosaur enthusiasts out there. What did you like about the brand new Jurassic World movie, Rebirth? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite Jurassic Park or World movie? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to stamp, subscribe. Also, check out these wild rascals on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV, movie news, and reviews.
That's right. We are blowing through the summer blockbuster season. July was the big month. It had a lot of movies come out. I mean, we were bombarded there at the cinema all month long. August is going to bring some pretty interesting films here. Looking forward to Weapons. We have Lethal Weapon, a big comedy coming out that's got a huge buzz behind it, saying that it could be a return to comedy for movies. So that's exciting. And we're going to be back each and every week and wrap up the summer blockbuster season. We're going to be here with you guys through it all, and we'll let you guys know what to go check out before summer's all over. So thank you for watching our review of Jurassic World Rebirth. And until the next Cinephellas movie review, I am Uncle Henry Grant.
And I'm Dr. Logan Myers signing out till the next movie review for Cinephellas. Cheers!